Hello, friends, and welcome back to Stories About Entitled People. Let's start our video with a story about a bizarre encounter that unfolded in the wee hours of the morning. A tale that exemplifies the strange twists of fate life throws our way. So buckle up for a roller coaster of absurdity as we delve into this unforgettable tale of mistaken identities and retail mayhem. But before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button, smash the like if you enjoy the content, and ring that notification bell so you never miss a juicy story. Fired from Walgreens I never worked at. So this was some 10 years ago, and while the conversation is paraphrased, I remember it like it was yesterday. So background. At the time I was working grave and swing as a casino players host in Reno, Nevada. For those who don't know what the job is, we take care of the high rollers. Make sure they get comps, dining, and hotel reservations, get invites to tournaments, limo rides, you name it. I wore a nice black blazer with a name tag, slacks, comfortable but professional shoes, hair, and makeup done. The days I worked swing, I was off at 3 a.m. But after waiting for a bus and the ride home, I'd make it to my place about 5 a.m. Directly across the street from my home was a Walgreens. I stopped in a lot of mornings to grab a protein shake, pick up prescriptions, etc. But on Wednesday mornings, they put out a lot of clearance items. You could snag small appliances dirt cheap. So I was always there on Wednesdays, stocking up on Christmas and birthday presents, etc. The employees and manager knew me by sight, and some by name. I was usually a zombie after work, I think like most people, LOL, and this Wednesday was no different. I was looking over the latest selection, trying to decide if I needed a new coffee maker or just wanted one because it was clearance for like $5. A woman was next to me, finished her conversation, and looked at me. Can I get a discount on this? I don't remember what this was. Some small appliance. The box is smashed up. No idea, I told her. But I would ask to plug it in to test it before I bought it if the box is damaged. I have no idea if anyone can actually do that, but it seemed reasonable to me. Why would you sell something that doesn't work? She demanded. I had no idea at this point she thought I worked there. I thought she was making conversation. In my defense, I was half asleep and just wanted a good deal on a damned stick blender. Oh, I told her, I absolutely wouldn't sell it, but I'm not in the business of selling things anyway. Oh, so you're too good and important to sell things? That's just for the low employees? I finally looked at her. Until then, I was pretty focused on staying awake. I could see she was getting angry. It dawned on me that I still had my name tag on. I slipped it off. They're the kinds with magnets, not pins, and stuck it in my pocket. Oh, sorry, I forgot to take this off. I don't actually, I started to say I don't work here, but she was having none of that. Oh, you think you're too good to help me just because I'm Filipina? She may have said Filipino. I confess I don't know which is correct and going only off memory. My money's good, she said something in Tagalog that did not sound flattering. You think you can trick me taking off your name tag? I just sighed. I don't want your money. I don't work here. I'm shopping. Please leave me alone. She ignored everything I said except for, oh, you won't be getting my money because you need to give me this free for not helping me? Ma'am, I tried to reason with her. I can't give you that. I really don't work here. If you take it without paying, that's stealing. Oh, now you think I'm poor and a thief? WTF, where did poor come from? I want to talk to the manager of the whole store. Lady, I turned back to the shelf. I wish you would effing talk to anyone but me. I didn't swear because I was angry. I just have a potty mouth. She stomped off her heels, making little tick, 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 tick sounds on the linoleum. I decided I did need another coffee maker, and that stick blender, I was putting both in my cart. I hear tick, 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 tick. Great, she's back. But she's not alone. Tom, the store manager, was with her. There she is, the woman shrieked. She called me a poor thief and said a swear at me. I want you to fire her and make her poor. Weird obsession with poverty. Tom looked at me confused. What is happening? I grinned and held up my coffee maker. Shopping. Tom was even more confused. But why are you insulting her and swearing? She thinks I work here and wanted me to let her steal an appliance? Okay, I know a bit of an exaggeration, but she started it. This was the moment that her medication stopped working, In a very loud mix of English and Tagalog, she shrieked out our entire interaction. Surprisingly, she told it correctly, too. Except that I didn't put my name tag away to trick her. Tom was done at this point. He just looked at me and said, "You're fired." The woman grinned maliciously at me, grabbed her smashed-up box, and stormed off with Tom as I shrugged and made my way over to the allergy medication. Or some other area of the store. I don't 100% remember. But I have terrible allergies, so that seems likely. At the register, Tom asked me what really happened. I told him everything, including how I told her I wish she'd effing talk to anyone but me. Tom laughed and told me I was still fired. "Yay," I grinned. "Do I get a severance package?" Tom laughed harder. "To be fair, you did swear at her. Plus, you don't actually work here. No severance package." That's it. I shopped there for many years before I moved. I never saw her again, so I'm sure she went on content with getting me fired and making me poor. I'm going to say that woman knew exactly what she was doing. Still an idiot, but it's a tried and true method in most any corporate run store to make the biggest stink possible, and management will bend over backwards just to get rid of you. And our second story. Customer claims we ruined her son's Christmas because she thought her car would grow. I worked retail at a large sporting goods store around the holidays. My store had a large trampoline for sale, of which a customer bought, but quickly found out it was too large to fit in her sedan. No problem. We told her we'd put it on hold for her and she could come back when she found a car to borrow or someone to help her out. This was in early December, and it was common practice for us to put items in the back with the tag saying it's for X customer, and that she'd already paid for it. Fast forward to a few weeks later, Christmas Eve around 5:30, store closes at 6, same customer calls and asks if she can come get her trampoline, but she'll be late. Fine, we'll be there anyway, closing down. I go to the backstock area only to find someone has sold her trampoline. No big deal, another store's 15 minutes away with one in stock. I hop in my personal truck, drive to the other store, pick up the trampoline, and head back to the store. Arrive at roughly the same time as the customer. We tell her we can just move it straight from the bed of my truck into her car. Sounds good. Wrong. We go outside to find she's in the same car she came to the store in weeks ago and has her son in the car, presumably the one who's receiving the trampoline for Christmas. Again, we tell her that this trampoline will not fit in her car. At this point, she's irate that the trampoline is not wrapped for her, not a service we've ever offered or advertised, that it won't fit, and that we've now ruined Christmas for her son because he knows he's getting a trampoline now and he won't have it tomorrow morning. At this time, my store director graciously offers to put the trampoline in his car and drive it to this woman's house that's fairly close by. We don't offer delivery, by the way. She agrees. The rest of the story is now secondhand due to me no longer being there and was told to me by the director at my next shift. So the director drives to her house with this trampoline on Christmas Eve instead of being with his family. He arrives, to which this woman goes inside and shuts the door without offering any instruction or help to my director. He proceeds to stand at the front door and knock for an extended period of time before she opens the door as if she's bothered that he's there. He tells her that he's just going to put the trampoline outside the garage, which infuriates her because it's not under the tree. He obliges and by himself gets this trampoline up her front porch stairs and to the door, which he discovers is closed and locked again. He again waits on her to open the door, to which she never does. At this point, he decides that enough has been done to appease this customer and goes on his way to enjoy Christmas Eve with his family. Now, fast forward to the day after Christmas. The next day, the store was open, and who comes marching in? This lady, and she's furious. The director takes her to his office, and she proceeds to scream and throw a fit, demanding a refund because we ruined Christmas for her kid because we were so unaccommodating to her. Apparently, she was mad that he didn't put it under the tree for her. My store director quickly shuts this down, explains what happened, why he left it where he did, and everything we did to make sure she got this trampoline. She's not having any of this, and at this time she's asked to leave the store because of her screaming. She refuses. PD is quickly called and she's escorted out of the building, and as far as I know, never seen again at the store. No way would I have offered to deliver the trampoline to her in my own personal vehicle on Christmas Eve to accommodate her stupidity. Some customers don't deserve any extra service beyond the most basic stuff. She's one of them. And our last story. Okay. I have a very large work truck that I park at home. I just barely have a spot for it in the backyard parking pad next to the garage off the back alley. My first day bringing the truck home, I wasn't confident enough to park it next to the garage, so I parked it on the street in front of my house. I didn't realize that commercial trucks weren't allowed to park there, but one of my neighbors kindly reminded me by immediately calling bylaw. I woke up to a warning on my windshield. The next day, I still didn't have the confidence to park on the pad, so I parked in the alley right up against my garage. An hour later, as I was working on the truck, bylaw rode up to me and kindly asked me to park elsewhere. He was sympathetic to my situation and understood how petty the whole thing was, but the law was the law and he was just doing his job. As nice as he was, he wouldn't tell me which of my neighbors was calling me in. I assume it was the one that had karaoke parties at his house 3 nights a week and whose friends park all over the neighborhood. I may not be allowed to park on the street, but I was allowed to park on my own property, however, and if that's what my neighbor wants, then that's exactly what they'll get. The clearance between the fence and the overhang of the garage is tight, within inches on either side. Because of that overhang and a utility box in the alley, I can only approach from one direction and I can only back in. There was no other way. Getting it in that spot without hitting the fence, the garage, or the utility box is extremely tricky. Doubly so if my neighbor across the alley also parks there, or if it's garbage day and all the bins are out. But my God, I'll get in that spot or die trying. For the next few days, I spent hours after work trying to figure out the best way to attack that angle. Back it up, stop, get out of the truck, check my clearances, get back in, readjust, and repeat, over and over and over again until I get it just right. The petty revenge? I often work late hours and come home when it's dark, and my backup signal is loud, really loud. You don't want me to park on the street? Then you get to listen to that racket. Every single GD night. And I'll savor every minute of it. I'm now a master at parking that truck. I know exactly where to place the truck, where to turn, and what to look out for. I don't even have to get out of the truck anymore. But every single night, I'll still take my sweet time getting it just right. Often I'll challenge myself to get it in one shot without having to readjust the truck. Doing so means being very slow and methodical. But at least my truck isn't an eyesore on the street anymore. Edit. I'm a self-employed contractor and this is my truck. If I had a better parking option, I'd obviously take it. Also, yes, you're right. My innocent neighbors don't deserve this. I'll ease off on the pettiness from now on. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.